What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the Brown Gent. It's been a while since we've talked about the Bitcoin mining stocks. And if you remember, I put a significant investment into Mara Digital Holdings. I think I told you guys it was like a little short of 20,000 bucks that I put in probably like sometime in early June. As you know, Mara had some incredible spikes over the last few months, but recently Mara and the rest of the Bitcoin mining stocks have sort of had a sort of flash crash. They've been falling and they can't get up. So what's going on with that? Let's talk about that in this video. But before we get into it, if you haven't done it already, make sure you like the video, share the video, and subscribe to the channel and follow me on All Tech. I apologize for the late videos. I've been super busy the last couple of days and I want to make sure I record these videos. I'm probably, it's sitting here at 3 a.m. in Toronto. Most of you are probably asleep. Most of my viewership is in North America, some in Europe. But you know what? It's a weekend, or you're probably in bed, catching some Z's or whatever else, right? So no sweat there. Maybe you can watch it when you wake up. Maybe you can watch it when you have some time. But as a reminder, Mara is sort of setting the pace for the Bitcoin mining industry. It's one of many Bitcoin mining stocks. There's also Riot, Hut 8, Any, CleanSpark, tons of Bitcoin mining stocks. Now, if we take a look at how Mara has done over the last little while, in the last day or on Friday, it was sort of traded neutral, but it was up 0.5%. It's down 7% over the last 5 days. 34%, outstanding 34% in the last month. Over the last 6 months, it's up 48%, and year to date, it's up 210%. So you can't really get mad, can you? Because this is a stock that has constantly showed, if we go back 5 years, right? Take a look at the peak here. It says 75.92, but we all know if you look in TradingView, you'll see prices of around $80. $90 a share, $85 to $90 a share. And that's because this stock tracks the price of Bitcoin, because they measure them on two things, right? The first is their ability to mine Bitcoin, or their exahash, their output. And then the Bitcoin that they mined, how much they have on their balance sheet. And you can see that in their earnings calls. I've captured that in other videos. I'm not going to talk about that right now, but that's why it's so super bullish when the price of Bitcoin goes up. Now, in a weird sort of thing, what came out was on Thursday, one of the Marathon Digital Holdings directors actually sold 15,000 shares. Not sure why they waited for the shares to go down to the average price of about $11 a share. It looks like this person didn't know to take profits when we're sitting at 19 bucks a share. But after it corrects like 50%, yeah, time to sell now, right? And the thing is, because you don't know the directors' names, or I don't know the directors' names, it said Said Asul. That's his name. Saeed Asul sold 15,000 shares. Not that much in general. I used to have 2,000 shares in Marathon. My stop loss got triggered, but we'll talk about that in a second. But not a bad thing. This person sort of, confusing why they wait to sell here, and now they only own 15,000 shares. Which is not bad, right? They sold half their shares. I mean, it's still profit is profit, right? And they get these share options most likely. Now, if you're probably wondering what's going on, a lot of what's been happening has to do with Bitcoin. So most of you have seen videos that I've posted on my channel in the last couple of days. On, I think it was Thursday or Wednesday last week, Bitcoin had a flash crash. Tons of cryptocurrencies sort of slid. And that, or not even Thursday, a week and a bit ago, right? So it's been about almost a week and a half from now. Crypto could drop like 15 to 20% in the course of a few mere minutes when SpaceX announced that they dumped all the crypto holdings. And this is not the first time that an Elon Musk company has done this. Like, this guy seems to sort of live in people's heads rent free. And some of the fear is there's really a couple of things. The first thing is Elon Musk has a lot of swaying power. Remember, this guy got Dogecoin to get to like 69, 70 cents. Incredible. As people waited for him to go on Saturday Night Live and drop Dogecoin on the now infamous video. But even beyond that, it's also a signal to people when they see that big organizations have dumped crypto. Obviously, the more organizations stack crypto, the more positive it is. And the opposite is also true. So when they heard SpaceX dump their crypto holdings, even though that was a long time ago, people were like, wait, maybe we are too early. We got to sell out too. We got to dump it. Because at the end of the day, people don't want to get into crypto too early. They want to be right before the pump. And it's so impossible to time that. You can't do it, right? So that's why I always say with Bitcoin, with Ethereum, with all my blue chip stocks as well, I just sort of buy, set it, forget it. I believe in it. And I just dollar cost average over time, and I don't have to worry. Most people aren't that fortunate. Most people are sitting there gambling and rolling the dice. They're leverage trading. They're doing futures on Bitcoin, opening longs and shorts. And a lot of this stuff is highly volatile, and it causes people to lose tons of money because you give away sort of your biggest advantage, which is time. Now, we'll talk about that in another video on how you can sort of be more profitable. But when the Bitcoin price dropped to 26,000, what we saw over here was almost U-shaped, like a U-shaped parabola, right? If you go from June 15th all the way to where we are right now, the end of August, right? We're almost completed the full parabola. And if you look at the price of Mara, you see the same thing, right? On June 16th, we were sitting at $9 a share. We went all the way up to almost 20 bucks. We basically like scratched the edge of it. We waved, we said hi, and then we came back the other side, and we're sitting at $10.55. So what you can clearly see here is as the price of Bitcoin went up $5,000 or $4,000 from 26,000, about 10 to 15%. Mara, on the other hand, went up basically double. It went up 100% and the way down. So you can see it's extremely leveraged position that you can invest in stock market. That's why I love this company, and that's why I bought a bunch of shares. Remember, I had like 2,000 shares at like an average cost of a little above $8. I have 5 December 2025 $10 leaps. I still have those. They went up more than double for me, or actually, yeah, a little more than double for me. And now they've basically come down up like $100 on each of those leaps. Unfortunately, my stop loss triggered on my 2,000 shares, so 1,500 of them sold at $14. I still have 500 shares, and then I bought another 700 shares back at $10.90. So I didn't really take profits on the top here because I was sort of buying for long term. That being said, I did have a sort of take profit target if it came down once we sort of adjusted all the way higher, over $19, which was $14. I really didn't think we'd get there, but with that flash crash, it just sort of liquidated for me. And I'm now sitting with like 1,200 shares of Mara and 5 Leap contracts, and I'm not worried in the slightest. Hey, Crypto Boogie, Crypto Boogie, how's it going, man? Yeah, late night streams. Honestly, it's 3 a.m. here in Toronto. It's super hot. I finished a workout around like 1 o'clock, and now I'm just getting this off my chest. I'm going to film one more video tomorrow, and then I got a ton of work to do. So I was hoping to do that. Good to see you, though. But yeah, so like that's sort of why all of these U-shaped recoveries have been happening. And like, I'm not expecting Mara to just take off because it won't take off unless Bitcoin sort of does very well. And I didn't buy all those shares back in Mara because there's a potential, and I've been saying this, we go down to $24,000, another liquidity zone down here, and then I expect the price of Bitcoin to go up slowly over time. When it goes up, nobody knows, right? We know that the halving is in April of 2024, and when that happens, we can potentially see, some incredible movement around here, around the Bitcoin ETF approval, around sort of like 6 months post-halving event where the price of Bitcoin should sort of hit all-time highs, and then we should see Mara around like $100 a share. Remember, not financial advice. Do your own research. I'm just a guy on YouTube, but this is really like where we see it, and that's why for those people who are wondering, like, oh my God, like they were sitting in like Riot or Any or CleanSpark. When all of these things corrected down, people get worried. The reality is you shouldn't worry as long as you understand why they corrected. It's not because the company is bad, right? It's nothing to do with that. It is so. What the hell did I just do? Yeah. What did I just do? Oh God, I just overlay the thing. Yeah. Anyways, I screwed up the chart. I somehow put the RSI on here for some reason while this is going on. Just turn this off. Yeah. I'll fix that later. Basically, what I want to say here is that when we take a look at Mara in general and all the Bitcoin mining stocks, what you got to remember is we're here for the long term. We're buying a super leveraged version of Bitcoin, and I believe in sort of the future of cryptocurrency. I believe we will see another significant bull run, and all of those Bitcoin mining stocks tend to, or they will, profit significantly off this. And I can wait and I can build a position. I can take profit here and there. I really want to just accumulate a ton of shares to have when that bull market happens, because that's when we will make the real money. I'm not interested in making a few $100s here and there when it comes to this stock. This is a stock that I have missed incredible amounts of gains by selling too early, right? So I sold Mara at a loss. I bought it for $4, sold it at $3, and then it went to 30. Felt like an idiot. I bought it at 15 or 20. It went up to like 40. I sold it, went up to 90. I'm like, wow, I'm so dumb. Like, once again, sort of the lesson learned here is like, focus on the Bitcoin price, chart Bitcoin, and based on that, you can see, okay, you know what? This is where I see Bitcoin sort of peaking at. Let me start taking profits around here. And that's how it works. Remember, the higher Bitcoin goes, the bigger the multiple of Mara, right? Like we saw it. Bitcoin went up 10 to 15%, Mara went up 100%. Same thing happened to Riot. If you're investing in Bitcoin mining stocks, those are the two I'll focus on. People always bring up Any, Hut 8, CleanSpark. Guess what? Those are fine companies, but I want companies that are much bigger, that will be the dominant, will be the number one in the space. Riot and Mara are those companies. I'm not worried about CleanSpark. I'm not worried about Any. These are companies that have done massive dilution, especially Any, right? Take a look at that stock. It's gotten destroyed. Hut 8 too. Why would I want to invest in a startup company that's trying to build up Bitcoin versus getting into the big behemoth that I know is going to give me incredible returns? So that's sort of how I see it. Hey, Jay Payton, how's it going? Love the Dragon Ball Z icon. Was that like Super Saiyan Goku or Vegeta? It looks more like Vegeta because his hair is a little different. But anyways, with that being said, if you haven't done already, like and share the video, subscribe to the channel, follow me on All Tech, and until next time, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.